And hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I will be talking more about Godot and scripting, finally. So we can get straight into this. This is what I've been waiting for. The ability to code in Godot. So we can just say new project. And we can select wherever we want. And I'm just gonna go like this and then I'll do free. And then I'm going to go and create a folder called YT for YouTube. And I'm going to create a folder called first script. And then in here, I'm going to select that folder. And yeah, we can keep it as first script. It's going to be scripting our first thing. I'm going to select OpenGL ES 3.0. If this doesn't work on your machine, you can always be free to go to 2.0. And then we just say create. And then we can go to 2D because we are not ready for 3D just yet. So first thing we want to do is either want to press Ctrl and A or just other node. Ctrl and A will take you to the same place. And then here we want to add a panel. So we can just say create once we add a panel, and this is a panel. Now a panel is basically like a holder or such. It holds some content. Now I don't like how big this screen is, so I'm going to go to project settings. I'm going to go to Windows because I want my window to be slightly smaller, and I'm going to say it should be 400 by 250, and I'm going to say close, and now my window has been resized. I can just put the panel there in the middle or near the middle. Okay, so now that the panel is there, I want to add something inside of the panel. I want to add a label and a button. So label is just something to keep text on. A panel is something to contain something. It's like a container specifically made to contain things. Like with a button, or with a label is a container specifically meant for text. A panel is a container specifically meant for other containers. So that's very nice. And I also want to add a button. So I can go button. There we go. So now we have a label and a button. We can just position these to look a little bit better. I don't know what I did there. Ctrl Z to undo that. And here, I'm just going to take my button. I'm going to resize it a bit so it looks nice. And I'm going to select my label, and I'm going to move my label here. Maybe also resize it a bit. Inside my label, I'm just going to say some text goes here. You can modify it to whatever you want it to look. There's a lot of things you can do. And yeah, and in here, we can also add some text, and we can say click me. We can save this, and we can save it as panel.tscn. So save. And now we have the panel right here. If we run this, we're not going to get anything special. As you can see here, nothing special, just a non-working button and some text. Okay, so now let's first talk about how to add scripts. So we're going to use this panel as an example. Let's say you want to add a script. Now what you can do is you can either go here to panel and then right click and say attach script, or you can click on whatever you want to attach a script to, and you can go down here to script, and here at script you can just say new script. But for teaching purposes, I'm going to go here and say attach script. Now here's where you can choose what script you want. Do you want a GD script, which we are going to use? So this is the inbuilt language. Native script is C++, and visual script is visual drag and drop stuff. So we're going to use GD script. You can just keep everything here at default for now, it's not that important. And you can say create. Now basically here at the panel, what happens is exactly not really much. So we can actually delete all of this extra code because we don't need that. Just delete. And right here we can delete as well. And then we can save it. And then here at this button, we want to go here and we want to say here node. We want to go to signals. So we want, when the button is clicked, we want to change the text up here. So we can go pressed. Now, this is the only time we're actually going to use this node here, or one of the only times. Most of the time, we're just going to code this in ourselves. But for right now, just for showing purposes, we're going to double click on press, and we can just keep it like this. Basically, this is where the press is going to be inserted to, and this is the button that should be listening for that pressed. So these two are basically being connected, and we can just say connect. Now here inside of, here's the script, so you can go to 2D or script, and right here, here's where the button has been added, is inside of the panel. So as you can see here, panel. If we're going to run it now, nothing's really going to happen, but we can click here to make it less cluttered. It just looks better. Okay, so basically here, we can use get node, and here we can use button. So what's this actually saying? This is saying, go back here to 2D, and let's just go here, and it's saying select this. It's basically, it was here, and now it's going like this. It has selected this button. And then in here, we can go get underscore node, and we can say label, because we want to select the label. Once we click on this button, we want to select this label. And if we click on this label, we want to change this text. So how do we get to this text? Well, to get to the text, we have to go here and we have to say dot text, because we're selecting this label and we're saying dot and then what we want here. In this case, dot text, and we can say equals, and we can put whatever we want in here. So we can go hello world. If we save it, then we can continue. Now here at the button, now it's just saying, hey, select the button. It's not saying it to do anything. It just says, hey, select the button, please. We have to actually connect the button. So to connect the button, we can actually go connect. Now this button is pressed. So here we can go pressed, and then we have to go self. And then after self, we can say on button pressed. So let's quickly look at what this is saying. So we're saying select the button. Then we're saying, okay, now connect this button on the pressed event. Basically this. Now when it is pressed, so when this is happening, when it's getting clicked, and in here on button pressed, then it says when you click this button, call this function right here. So then it's going to be, okay, I'm pressing the button. This gives it, okay, I have to call this. And it's going to go here and it's calling this, and then it does this. So let's run this and see if it works. Now if I click on the button, so I'm going here, I'm activating the pressed. It changes to hello world. Of course, if I click it more, it's not going to do anything, but this is where you just have to kind of understand that you're basically saying, hey, get this button, go grab it, go focus on it. So basically we're saying focus on the button, it's focusing on the button. Go back to script. They're saying, okay, connect the dot pressed. So basically when we went here to node, and here we said pressed. And it's saying, just skip this, just don't even mind this, just think it has to be there. And then right here, the on button pressed, then it says, okay, call this function. So as you can see, if you click on this button, we go here and we say pressed, then here it's actually saying, okay, when it's pressed, call this function. That's because we said this right here. So then it's going to go here and it's going to say, okay, let's call this function, and boom. Then it says, okay, focus on this label right now. And now go to the text value of this. So it's going to go into Spectre and be like, okay, here's the text value. And it says, okay, I've changed this. Make this text value equal to hello world. So then it's going to literally go here and say, hello world. That's basically what it's going to do. So we can just do this like some text again. And if we run it again, you can say click, and it changes to hello world, which is really nice. That's a basic program. And you can actually go and just try this over and over, attempt your own thing. If you don't understand something, leave a comment in the comment section below, or try and figure it out here by yourself. Or even go to the documentation. Let's say this button is now inside of this label. How would you access this button? Basically, you'd have to go label / button. You have to say, okay, select this label and then go inside of the button. Because remember, the script is in panel. so it can see what's ever inside of panel. So it's going to be like, okay, we're inside panel now. So going to label, let's just fix the spelling of that, label, and then go into button, and then do that. It works perfectly fine. And the design also stay the same, but I wouldn't recommend you do this specifically, since a label is actually supposed to be used for text and not a button. Yeah, that's about all I can actually teach you right now. Thank you for watching. I hope you all understood and enjoyed, and see you all in the next video.